Prague, one of the most beautiful and best preserved cities in the world. Known also as the City of 100 Spires. It's a living museum, mixing Gothic, Renaissance, Baroque, and Art Nouveau styles. For the next 24 hours, we're exploring Prague, but we're doing it our own way, our own style, to see what this beautiful city has to offer. Between the beautiful libraries with the 300-year-old books, and the breathtaking oil paintings on their ceilings, and the classic red and white trams that run throughout the city, we've got a lot to see today. So, welcome to Prague.
So, that opening sequence was filmed almost entirely on this little guy, the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. These cameras are getting crazy good, right? Sara and I recently took a trip to Prague and we decided to do something fun with our first day. We would go out for a couple hours and experience Prague like we were visiting it solo, then meet back and explore it together. I took the Pocket 4 with me and she took her iPhone. So consider this kind of like a comparison video, but more like how does this camera shape your travel experience? Anyway, let's dive into it.
So we're starting our day off at Charles Bridge. It's around 7 a.m. because I think later in the day this place gets pretty packed, but it is an incredible viewpoint because the sun is coming in and you can see the other side of Prague all lit up with a fantastic view of Prague Castle.
Charles Bridge has connected the two sides of Prague for more than 600 years. It's the oldest bridge in Prague, lined with centuries of history. And even at this hour, plenty of tourists are still here. Since we're both standing in the exact same spot, it also makes for a pretty fair place for us to compare our cameras before splitting up for the day. Most camera comparisons turn into a pixel peeping contest, but the truth is we've reached a point where these cameras are just so good now that it's really just the little things that make a difference. The interesting question is whether the camera in your pocket changes the way you explore a place. I will say the biggest difference I've noticed with these cameras so far isn't the image quality, it's walking around with them. The little gimbal on the Pocket 4 just smooths everything out because it has 3 access points for stabilization. With the phone, you start to notice those little tiny jitters and the occasional focus hunt as you move.
We did say we'd be spending most of the day doing our own thing, but there were a few places neither of us wanted to miss, so we made a few exceptions.
It is for both of you. It starts at 10. The meeting point is just behind you.
Okay, thank you so much. So sometimes when I research a place, I'll see what people will say, and everyone was saying, get here at 8:30. They really mean get here a little bit earlier than 8:30 because we got here at 8:35 and there was already a huge line. So how this works is you can either buy tickets online or you can buy them at the ticket office. If you buy them online, they're pretty much sold out weeks in advance. But if you come at 8:30 or a little bit earlier than 8:30, you can wait in line and then hopefully they'll have tickets for the day.
But we were able to get into the 10 o'clock tour, so we don't have to wait too long, which is nice.
So now we can get more coffee.
Thank God.
Part of the library where prohibited books were stored at that time. Prohibited books were mainly Protestant books because Jesuits were a Catholic order and they didn't allow students to read Protestant books at that time.
Our guide told us that Clementinum started in 1556 as a Jesuit college. And some famous people have come through here too, like Albert Einstein, who used to hold lectures here, and Wolfgang Mozart, who used to play here numerous times.
You can't actually walk through the library itself. They keep visitors to a single viewing platform to help preserve the centuries-old books inside. There is, however, a little interactive display if you're curious to see more. From there, it's about 60 steps up to the astronomical tower, and then a few more just to get your legs to burn a little bit. The payoff, though, is one of the best panoramic views of Prague. Did we mention we're here during one of Europe's hottest heat waves?
Record-breaking heat wave.
As Europe also heats up again.
Temperatures broke records across Europe again on Sunday, including in Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic.
You've probably heard about it by now. Yep, we're still out here. Thankfully, some European cities have gotten pretty creative when it comes to helping people cool off.
Okay, now we split up. Do you have any big plans for your day?
I have no big plans. I'm going to wander around. I feel like it might be time for some inside time because it is hot as heck. And I don't know, when we travel to new places, we always bring home a magnet and a print, so maybe I'll go find some of those. There are also a lot of museums here, some of which, the ones I'm most interested in, are not quite appropriate for the camera.
No.
So I'm gonna have to save those for Sarah's own solo time off the camera. And I don't know, we'll just kind of bop around for a few hours. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, love the bathrooms, we can take care of those.
Perfect.
You're in for a treat. You're stuck with me now. If I had to guess what Tony's doing, probably statues, fountains, architecture.
Now there's a building that looks a little out of place.
Maybe a museum. If he was gonna guess what I'm doing, probably food and shopping. I don't know what else he'd guess I was doing. Let's see what we can get up to. I do keep seeing rubber ducks everywhere, and I'm not sure what the significance is with that. So I did look this up. Turns out it's nothing more than a tourist trend. Still don't understand why ducks, but to each their own. So the exciting thing about now having an apartment to live in is that we can buy souvenirs, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because I don't have Tony with me, so I don't feel rushed in the shops. But I also don't have him with me because he usually carries the things that I buy. So there's a shop behind me that looks kind of interesting. Let's pop inside and see what we got. I just started playing Skyrim, and these remind me of something I would find in that game. Tony would love one of these, but I am not about to carry this around all day. All right, nothing in there for me, which is probably good because it's still early in the day and I don't need to be carrying around glass. So let's keep going this way. I don't know if I've ever seen this many drastically different styles of architecture just stacked on top of each other like a little layer cake. This is crazy. Everywhere you look, you're in a different style of city. It's so interesting.
I haven't even ventured out from the main square of Old Town yet, just trying to plan out how I'm going to film those fake walking shots. You know what I'm talking about, right? The ones where I pretend like I didn't set up the camera beforehand that we do. But since the Pocket 4 has active track, I can set those shots up a lot easier. And to avoid having to run back and forth to press record, I can use gesture control. This is something I've never really used before. This is gesture control, but it's really handy now that I'm by myself. So if you hold up your open palm, kind of wave a little bit, then it locks onto you. So now active track is enabled and I can move around and it's completely locked on my face. And this is active track 7, so it's like really good now, right? So I'm like moving all around and it's just tracking me. This is cool. And then if you hold up the peace sign, it'll stop recording. I locked in on a pigeon to see how good the tracking could be. And it actually followed the pigeon around a good amount, even with other pigeons and people all around.
It does feel really weird just aimlessly. Oh my god, I found him. I knew he'd be here.
The Pocket 4 has 6 built-in film tones. I've turned them all the way up here, not because I'd shoot like this, but so you can easily see the difference in styles.
Excuse me, sir? I was just saying, this seems like a plaza Tony would go to.
It's the
It'd
first
be
plaza I went
so
to.
funny if in all of Prague we end up in the same place. Just like magnets, man.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's luxury.
Look at the herd. Well, at least they try to make sure people don't get heat stroke here. Everyone's crowding to it. Know what that reminds me of?
What?
As a kid, you ever have someone take the fire hose? Not the fire hose, what do you call it? Fire hydrant?
No.
You take the thing off the fire hydrant, like the water spray around the street?
No, never. That sounds too rule breaky for me.
Yeah.
Bye again.
Bye again.
A lot of travelers aren't going to color grade their vacation footage, so for most of the day I'll be shooting in the standard 10-bit profile, which still gives me plenty to work with. But I'll switch over to D-Log for a few scenes too, just to show you what you can pull out of the footage if you're spending a little extra time in the edit. Anyway, back to getting a little lost in this city. There's a lot more to Prague than just Old Town, but this is where we can move around freely and meet back up if we need to. Besides that, it's just a really beautiful area of town.
That's... What kind of magic is this? What the hell? That's your string. Got me, I'd eat there. Anyway, the day is getting hotter. It's time to find some food, maybe some water, and some place to sit down for a little bit. I found this place. The sign said original Czech food and best beer in town, so I was intrigued. It is weird being here by myself. Maybe we should have met up for lunch. I wonder where she's gonna eat for lunch anyway. So, yes, mixed grilled sausage?
Mixed grilled sausage?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I came here wanting to try a traditional Czech sausage, and the waitress said this wasn't really the spot to find them, so I settled on some grilled sausages. Still pretty tasty though.
I probably could have gotten this on the street corner somewhere, but just got some mixed sausage. So we got 2 sauces to dip our sausage in. This one's like a mustard. I think this one's kind of like a spicy mustard or something too. Let's try it out. Oh, that burns the nose. What is that? This one burns.
Okay, lunch, check. Get it? Yeah, that was awful. I'll see myself out now. But the meal was 287 crowns.
So that wasn't typical Czech food, but it scratches an itch. Wonder if Sarah had more luck.
I need to come up with a plan because right now aimlessly wandering around is not working out. So I found some shade so I can actually see my phone screen. We're gonna find a place to get lunch. It's hard because we're in like the main plaza right now and I don't want to run into another Budapest situation where we go to a traditional quote unquote restaurant on the main plaza and get charged. Like, not that we got charged, it was just super expensive for what it was. So hopefully, I don't know, this one has good reviews, so we'll see. There is music playing, so hopefully you can hear me into the mic. I got traditional beef goulash. I figured this is something I have to get at some point during this trip. I would have gotten a Pilsner too, but I feel like my first Pilsner in Prague needs to be with Tony. So is a conundrum when I get a dish I'm not familiar with which utensil to use, because if I pick the wrong one, I'm gonna get dragged in the comments. I think with this, I'm gonna use a spoon. Spoon, fork, soak the bread in, or don't, doesn't matter. This goulash was excellent. A little pricey though, came out to 454 crowns with a water. Lunch was a success. While I was eating lunch, I was looking up some souvenir shops, but I want to find like a shop that local artists are selling at, because it's always kind of iffy going into those mass-produced souvenir shops when you travel. You don't know what is made there, what is just shipped in from other countries. So there are 2 I found thanks to Reddit. One is called Place Store and the other one is called Local Artists. Local Artists looks like there's a couple locations, but we're just going to go to the one closest and see what we can find. If you're new to the channel, over on Patreon, we send out postcards throughout the year from wherever we are in the world. And these are from Prague. Pretty cute, right? Okay, thank you. Bye. I almost missed that. Not gonna lie, just wandering around without a plan is a little difficult. I've filmed solo videos for our channel before, but I've always had like a set itinerary and plan and things to do. It is difficult, kind of aimlessly wandering around. Tony has been texting me the whole time. He did say he was at lunch, and then he said he went to an optical illusion of books. I know exactly what he's talking about. I didn't know that's how it was described.
Yep, just a small tower of books. Pictures on social media make it look like it's huge, but the trick is mirrors.
Wait in line for 20 minutes for this. It looks cool. It's just an illusion, because there's 2 mirrors on the top and the bottom, and it looks like the books go on forever. I will say the artwork in Prague is incredibly creative. The books weren't what I expected, but they were clever. And the sculptures around town keep making me stop and look a little longer.
We've got a couple more hours until we're gonna meet back up. There is one place I saw on TikTok that I want to walk by to see if it's crowded. And if that is crowded, then there's a museum closer to where we're going to meet up that I think I'll pop in and just get out of the heat. I don't know if it'll be air conditioned, but at least we'll be out of the sun.
This is Charm Bar, and the way it works is you grab a tray, pick your chain, and then walk around this small little space and pick your charms. Once you have your creation made, someone who works there will put it all together for you. That was the freaking cutest. File that under places I probably wouldn't have stopped in if Tony was with me, just because it was so small, which did make it hard to film in there. But as a product of the 90s and growing up in the early 2000s, I loved my Link charm bracelet. Pinched the crap out of your arm hairs if you ever had one of those. But each of my charms I remember being like really sentimental and personal to me. There's a comedy and tragedy mask and a little Scorpio thing. And what is this car? Anyway, so I went into this kind of wanting to be sentimental and have some personal things to me. They didn't really have things that related to me, so I just got what I thought was cute. It seems like it holds up from the reviews as well. But there's also a little market next door, so I'm gonna go putz around that for a bit. I do not know what Tony's up to right now, but I guarantee he did not make a personalized charm bracelet.
Not much, just watching a sculpture move around for the next 15 minutes.
And no, I did not make a bracelet. I'm telling you though, the artwork here is so cool. This is a statue of Franz Kafka's head. It is a uniquely engineered statue that rotates for 15 minutes on the hour.
Okay, time's short. Need to go meet up with Sarah.
I'm just coming up on the bridge that we started today on. It is packed. It's just a sea of people. Holy cow, I cannot believe the difference.
Despite there now being significantly more people on Charles Bridge, I was still able to locate a special someone.
I'm back. It was so hot. It's like 90 degrees, which I think is in the 30s Celsius, 35, 34, something like that. It was weird not having Tony with me. I feel like I would have had a more enjoyable time if I went into the day with a plan instead of just trying to wing it. Also, I will say filming on my phone sucks. Because I'm trying to film everything on my phone, but I also need my phone for maps, to look up restaurant reviews, to look up currency conversions, like all these things. So my battery was shot. My storage gets so full. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like cumbersome because I was having to like exit out of things all the time to get to something else. And it had to be on the charger all day because using it was just draining my battery. So that was rough.
To be fair, my SD card also filled up because I haven't cleared it in a few days. Luckily, the Pocket 4 has 107 gigabytes of built-in storage, so I just switched over and kept filming. Considering how many times I forgot my SD card over the years, this is a feature I'm probably going to appreciate more than I like to admit.
And we made it up the stairs. So I call this the law of equivalent exposure. And I don't think that's a real, oh, shoot, changing of the guard. So I am a sweaty mess. Sorry about that. But we made it to Prague Castle and we are inside the cathedral currently. It is quite amazing. Very grand. I like that word, grand.
Right behind the cathedral is the Royal Palace and St. George's Basilica, where we're headed next.
So I should explain how I booked all this. So to get our Prague Castle tickets, I did Get Your Guide, and with that I get you entry into the old Royal Palace, the Basilica, and then the Cathedral. So we did the Cathedral, and now this is the Basilica, St. George's Basilica.
Your ticket also gets you into Golden Lane, which is kind of cool. You get to wander around through these old tiny little houses that have been standing for centuries. Even Franz Kafka lived here for a short time, but his house is a souvenir shop now.
Oh, quick note, we've been using this app called Pid Litoczka to get around Prague. Super easy way to handle trams, metro, and buses. So we took the metro a few stops to go and find dinner. Of course, that also gave Tony more time to play around with his new toy for some creative shots. It is time to eat some more traditional Czech food. We are at a place called Pork's, I think. We got the crispy pork knuckle, which I think is a traditional dish, and then we got a cabbage salad because we are in desperate need of some vegetables.
It's really tender. It's got a crispy skin for the outside. You get a little pork fat, and then really tender meat in the inside. Look at that.
That's pretty good.
All right, let's start with the skin. It's like lechon.
I was gonna say how does this like in Puerto Rico?
Look how easily this all fell off the bone. We made our way back towards the astronomical clock. Every hour the clock comes to life as tiny figures of the 12 apostles make their slow procession across the windows above the dial. The square is surrounded by these beautiful old buildings, so it felt like a good excuse to take a few portraits. I used the Pocket 4's 37 megapixel camera, and Sarah returned the favor with her phone. We stuck around long enough for the weather to start changing too. A much welcome rain and a good opportunity. The light disappeared almost instantly, and that's usually when faces start to get lost in the shadows. I clipped on the magnetic fill light just to lift the shadows on Sarah's face a bit. Nothing dramatic, but it gives her a little bit more pop against the darkness.
Prague is a well-planned city, but I think in some ways it rewards those who like to wander without much of a plan too. Every city has its own rhythm. Ours just happened to involve a lot more walking and food. Splitting up was new for us in a video, and to be honest, I didn't like it that much.
Bye again.
Bye again.
Part of that was not being able to justify paying for things while the other missed out. But a big thanks to DJI for partnering with us on this one and giving us the chance to put the Pocket 4 through a real day of travel instead of a studio test. And thank you for spending the day with us. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss where the next detour takes us. Until then, we'll see you somewhere else in the world.